Hello fellow collectors! Today at Coin History, we are going to take a look at the most iconic Canadian coin, the loonie, from its lesser-known silver predecessor to the current iteration of the design, without forgetting every steps in between. Stay tuned! It took almost 70 years after the founding of Canada for the first official minting of dollar coins. They were used heavily for commemorations, starting with the first issue. They were first minted in 1935 to celebrate the Silver Jubilee of George V. Thus, the legend of the coin spells, along with the usual George V Rex Imperator, Anno Regni XXV, Latin for 25th year of reign. The reverse of the coin depicts a Native American and a voyager in a canoe. A small detail that represents how a company came to be a huge part of Canada's history is that the front parcel in the canoe actually bears the lettering HB for Hudson's Bay Company. Yes, they even made it onto circulating currency. The next year, we can see that the legend went back to the regular Georgius V Dei Gratia Rex et India Imperator. Then, George VI succeeded his father on the throne. By summer 1939, amidst the build-up for the looming Second World War, George VI became the first reigning monarch to set foot on Canadian soil. This year's dollar commemorates this tour, which is often considered to be the most successful royal visit in Canadian history, and had stopped at every province of Canada. The coin depicts the Parliament and the Latin phrase Fide Suarum ring out, or in English, he reigns by the fate of his people. From 1940 to 1944, no silver dollars were produced due to the war. The 1948 issue of the coin was the one which saw, by far, the lowest mintage at only 18,000 made. This is due to India leaving the empire, necessitating the removal of the India Imperator part of the legend of all coinage of the Commonwealth. The arrival of the modified master hubs from England took so long that there was not enough time to do that year's production. The following year, the dollar commemorated the entry of Newfoundland into Canada. The coin depicts the Matthew, the ship in which Jean Cabot discovered Newfoundland in 1497. Under the waves is written the motto Floreat Terra Nova, may the new found land flourish. In 1953, Elizabeth II is crowned and first appears on Canadian coinage. Continuing the commemorative tradition, the 1958 issue of the dollar celebrates the centenary of the founding of British Columbia. The reverse represents a totem and the Rocky Mountains. In 1964, the meeting of Charlottetown in Quebec, that will lead to the Confederation, are commemorated. The design incorporates symbolism from France, England, Scotland, and Ireland, countries which will have a significant impact on Canadian culture. At this point in time, Canada had made 6 commemorative coins, 5 of which were dollars. In 1967, for the centennial of the Act of Confederation, all denominations depicted Canadian fauna. The dollar was a goose and would be the last circulating silver dollar. In 1968, the design stayed the same, but the size of the coin shrunk and it became pure nickel. But the commemorative nature of the coin didn't change. In 1970, it celebrated Manitoba's centenary. In 1971, the centenary of British Columbia joining Canada. In 1973, the centenary of the joining of Prince Edward Island. In 1974, the centenary of Winnipeg, with a gorgeous design showcasing the past of the city and its present. In 1982, a coin commemorates the signing of the Constitution, and in 1984, one commemorates Jacques Cartier. For some of those commemoratives, silver version of the dollars was made but uncirculated. For example, this one in 1971. Also, in 1977, a dollar was made, but not circulated in honor of the Silver Jubilee of the Queen. In 1987 came the biggest change for the Canadian dollar. They were not seeing much circulation, people preferring using the dollar bill instead because the coin were too big. The government estimated it could save between 175 and 250 millions by replacing the bill by a more resilient coin, which would not be replaced as often. Originally, the design was supposed to stay the same, but the master dies were lost in transit, never to be found again. Fearing widespread counterfeit, the mint decided to change the design. Minted on smaller, 11-sided bronze-plated nickel coin, the loonie was born. In this format, the coin commemorated the 125th anniversary of Canada, the sacrifice of Canadian soldiers in Canada's war, the UN Peacekeepers, Terry Fox, Park Canada, and finally the Navy. Then, in 2012, the alloy was changed the last time to become a multiply brass-plated steel coin. In this last iteration, the coin commemorated women's suffrage, the 150th anniversary of Canada, and the LGBTQ community. Lastly, there was 6 different Lucky Loonies that were made for the Olympics. One was made in 2004, one in 2006, one in 2008, one in 2010, one in 2014, and finally, the last one in 2016. This concludes our brief overview of the dollar coin. I hope you learned something new and appreciated the video. Thanks for watching, like and subscribe, good collecting, and see you soon.